So as you can see by that opening sequence, those big 40-inch Patagonia MTs are getting just a little friendly with the factory sport fenders on our Giveaway Gladiator. We need more clearance, so we're going to install a set of factory Rubicon fenders. They'll bolt onto a non-Rubicon JL or JT and give you a little bit more clearance. So we're going to start out with a tape measure. We're going to measure the clearances that the factory sport fenders give us. We'll show you how to install a set of factory Rubicon fenders. We'll measure again and then we'll compare them. We're going to start out with the tires turned because that's where we're going to get closest to the back of the fender. So let's sneak a tape measure in there. And we are right about 1.25 inches of clearance to the leading edge at the back of the sport fender. Now if we come up here to the middle, measure down to a tire block, and we go to the lowest point on the fender, we are right about 6 5/8 of an inch. We're going to start out with the Christmas tree clip tool. Reach in here and pull the Christmas tree clip out right by the front body mount. Then we're going to remove the 4 10mm bolts. We have one here, one here, one here, and one up here. Okay, so now comes the fun part, getting the fender off. There are 10 clips all along the fender that hold it in place, and they can be really tight, especially if you have a newer vehicle. We've had this fender on and off many times over the course of this build, so this one's going to snap out pretty easy. Now you can reach up in here and pop out the little red clip, push down, and the fender wiring comes off. And now the fender's out of the way. If you have any of the clips left over, you can reach down inside with some needle nose and compress them and pop them right out. So here is the new factory Rubicon fender, and it comes complete. It has the front turn signal, and it is available in either the halogen or the LED. On the back side, you have the 10 white clips. The only thing missing is the inner fender, and it's in the box too. We'll install those after we get the fender in place. So first thing to do is to hook up your fender harness, and that plugs right in. And then slide the little red lock in place. Line all the little clips up. And just go along, snapping them in place. In the box, you're also going to find the inner liners and a bag. The bag has the instructions, and it also has all the new little clips you'll need to install the inner liner and the fender. In the bag, you're going to find new Christmas tree clips, and you'll also find the plastic rivets that are used to hold the inner liner in place. You can use a rivet gun. We've grabbed one of these rivet guns that are specifically designed to use with plastic rivets. Now tuck your new inner liner up. You'll want to line up the holes and then stuff the plastic rivets in and give them a pinch. Now you can grab your Christmas trees and snap them up and in. Now on the Giveaway Gladiator, we need to do a little cutting on the inner fender liners to clear those resi hoses on the Race Series Fox shocks. So there is the factory Rubicon fender installed on a non-Rubicon JT, and as you can see, it was pretty easy to do. Now for clearances, We went from 6 3/4 all the way up to 9 3/8, so about 2 5/8 of an inch clearance gain in the center. At the back, we're sitting right about 2 inches. Now that's not a huge gain, but 3/4 of an inch is quite a bit, and with a little trimming, we can get it a little bit better. Now we weren't having problems with the rear tires popping the rear fenders off, but we do have some scratches here on the inside edge of the rear fenders showing that the tires are making contact. So let's take some baseline measurements, then we'll swap out to those Rubicon flares and then compare the numbers. At the back corner, we're showing about 2 1/4, 2 3/8 of an inch. In the center, looks like we have right about 6 1/2 inches of clearance. To start, we need to remove the 3 8mm bolts that hold the inner liner to the bed. The rear fender is held in by 16 of those little white snap clips all along. To help make removal easier, we can reach up in the backside and use fingers or even a pair of needle nose pliers to pop the first couple of them out. Now we can't forget, we did cut that inner liner for those sway bar arms on that anti-rock by Rockjaw. Now to help you figure out which inner liner goes where, MOPAR has labeled them L or R for left or right. And then of course the rear has those 3 holes for those 3 8mm bolts. Just like the front, that rear fender was quick and easy to do. But now the moment of truth. I've got a tape measure. Let's compare those numbers. At the rear, we're about 3 1/4 inches, so we picked up almost a full inch. In the center, the lowest point is 8 inches, and that's a gain of 1.5 inches, which is a big difference over the factory non-Rubicon fenders. Now couple that with that inch we've gained here at the back of the fender, and we should clear the 40-inch Patagonias. Now the big question is going to be up front, whether those new Rubicon fenders up front will clear the 40-inch Patagonias. And the only way to tell that is to get it on the trail. But first I got to install the new Rubicon fenders on the other side of this Gladiator, and then we'll show you. So that clip was the Giveaway Gladiator, now with the Rubicon fenders crawling through the same section that we opened this video with. And as you can see, the tires just barely cleared those Rubicon fenders. So adding a little extra clearance is what those factory Rubicon fenders are all about. Now, where can you get a set of Rubicon fenders? Well, at Northridge 4x4, of course. Drop right down to that description box below to where you'll find links for both JL and JT factory Rubicon fenders. Also, while you're down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then hit that comment section. We love to hear from the people who are watching our videos. Until next time, thanks Northridge Nation.